You're not a big guy. In fact, that's exactly why you're here. Back at the base, they're about to give you a new name. A tunnel rat. But to understand why they called you that, why a superpower like America needed small men to crawl in the dirt, you have to understand the ground beneath your feet. Years before you arrived, the French fought here against the Viet Minh. To defeat a modern army, the Viet Minh went underground, digging a massive, complex network of tunnels. When the Americans arrived, the Viet Cong took this to another level. These tunnels became headquarters, hospitals, and barracks. From these hidden bases, they would emerge at night like snakes, lay traps, and vanish before sunrise. They were ghosts, striking from an enemy you couldn't see and couldn't bomb. Which brings us back to you. Standing on that dusty base, an officer, a man with tired eyes, points to the bags. "Jumping jack mine," he says. 3 dead, 24 wounded. His finger then shifts to a small dark hole in the ground, almost invisible. "The enemy's down there. We have to stop them." He looks directly at you. His gaze isn't a question, it's an order. Firmly. Someone has to go in. And that someone is you. Your gear is simple, almost terrifyingly so. No M16 rifle, it wouldn't fit. No helmet, it would scrape the ceiling. You get a .45 pistol, a flashlight held in your other hand, and a knife strapped to your belt. You are vulnerability given a handgun. They taught you the basics, how to spot tripwires, how to listen for the slightest sound. But you quickly learn that the real training happens in the dark, underground, where every breath is a gamble. What they didn't tell you was that the enemy soldiers were only half the problem. The moment you lower yourself in, the world shrinks to the narrow beam of your flashlight. The air is thick, smelling of damp earth and something else, something stale, human. The tunnel is so tight, your shoulders scrape against the packed dirt. You can't crawl. You have to wriggle like a snake. Your flashlight beam catches something. A Vietnamese giant centipede, as long as your forearm, its legs moving in a sickening wave. It scurries into a crack. Your skin crawls. The jungle doesn't stay outside, it comes down here with you, and you realize you are not alone down here in more ways than one. Suddenly, a shadow moves at the edge of your light. No time to think. Your training kicks in. Shoot first. The .45 roars. The flash blinds you. The sound is a physical blow that leaves your ears screaming. Dirt rains down. For a few terrifying seconds, you are blind and deaf in a coffin underground. This was just the first time. It would get worse. Because the Viet Cong were masters of psychological warfare. Their traps weren't just designed to kill, they were designed to terrify. The Punji stake pit, a concealed hole with sharpened bamboo spikes often coated with feces to guarantee infection, or the 3-step snake, a venomous pit viper tied to a piece of bamboo. Brush past it and it strikes your face. They called it that because after the bite you only had about 3 steps left. But even these traps were nothing compared to the genius of the tunnels themselves. This wasn't a tunnel. It was an underground city. The Americans dropped bombs. It didn't work. The tunnels had U-bends to block gas, zigzags to stop explosions, and false walls. The only way to win was from the inside. The only way was you. Their strategy wasn't just to survive, it was to break you, to make you feel like you were fighting ghosts, and it was working. You did this for months. You became numb to the fear, or maybe you just learned to live inside it. The other soldiers watched you go. You heard them betting. They thought you were crazy. Maybe you were. You didn't do it to be a hero. You did it for the guys next to you. If you didn't go down, one of them might not come back tonight. In that dark hole, you found a purpose. You survived the war, but part of you stayed in the tunnels. A man named Jack Flowers, a real tunnel rat, said it best. Why did we do it? I wasn't a tough guy. I'd never want a son of mine to have to do it. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about being afraid and doing it anyway. Let us know in the comments what you think is the most terrifying part of being a tunnel rat. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories.